Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Why is the middle class shrinking? Why are people facing an affordability crisis while marginalized individuals called informals grow in numbers? Join me as I travel the world, speaking with people living in invisibility, the leaders working to solve it, and uncovering the hard truths shaping our economy and daily reality.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi. Okay, then we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
People have been waiting. Mary is calling in from Wyoming. Good morning from Wyoming to us around the country. Mary, how are you? Thank you for waiting.
I am fine, and good morning, James, and thank you for taking my call. I'm still wanting to talk about the subject that you were on. I listened to your podcast on Thursday. You did such an excellent job of describing how the immigration impacts on the gerrymandering. I mean, it was the best topic I ever heard on how you explained it. And there was a national expert on named Chris Murray. It was First and 14th Law, and he said that the Dems haven't caught on yet. But the Supreme Court 4 years ago said drawing congressional district lines for legal reasons was constitutional. It was for keeping cities and towns together or communities like blacks. You hit on it. It just can't be for race. That was what they tore down. But communities together was part of it, and it was for to protect incumbents and give advantages to the different parties, the Democrats and Republicans. And they're saying that was constitutional and legal. Now, states that have laws that says no gerrymandering, they can't do it. But, yeah, so there's going to be a firestorm coming up, because he says the Democrats do not realize what is coming. So there is going to be such a, like I said, a firestorm coming with all of this trying to do this jerry-rigging.
You are so prescient, Mary, and this is what I was referring to today. You don't see it reflected in the mainstream press today. It's like, okay, that was yesterday's news. They recognize the impact. There's been 3 days of coverage now. But on social media, Democrats are beginning to explode. Their political heads are exploding as they understand the ramifications of this. And of course, they're emphasizing on race. What they're trying to do is stir it up. Oh, here's the return of Jim Crow thanks to this corrupt Supreme Court. They were saying here are the Republicans again attacking us on race, blah, blah, blah. They never mentioned the history and why the Voting Rights Act was necessary in the first place, nor do they mention the constitutional premise of why what they've been doing, the way that they've been using it, is illegal. So it's going to be up to people to explain this and to make it clear, because it's a compelling argument when you just look on the surface. When you say, okay, a third of your population is black in Mississippi, but in Louisiana, but you only have one representative, how is that fair? And the answer, of course, if you just look at it upon those terms, it's not. But those aren't the only ways to look at it. And so it is going to be, this is going to be a contentious fight, but all in all, a major, pillar of Democrat Party electoral victories has just been snatched from them, and there's no going back on that. Mary, thank you so much for the call. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Let's go to Connecticut and check in with Jeanette. Jeanette, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well, James. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Just fine, thank you.
I have to say, though, you have a gorgeous voice.
Thank you.
And I appreciate your using it to spread words of wisdom. But there was like two things I wanted to talk about. One thing was that they use these polls and say that Trump isn't doing as well as he was in the past. but that's because the news people are spreading false information about them. So that's the one thing. And the other thing is that when they say that they can't believe when the Democrats are mad about this and that, they want to turn this country into a socialist country. So they're happy when things fail for the way we want it, because they want it to be a socialist country.
Exactly right.
Well, it's unfortunate. I have friends that just listen to the CNN stuff. They have it on 24/7, and they actually get like sad and upset about stuff. And I'm like, well, that stuff's not happening. So if that's what you're upset about, you don't have to be, because that's not really what's going on. My words of wisdom is change the channel. You know, and I appreciate what you do, and that you keep, spreading the words of wisdom and using that beautiful voice.
Oh, you are so sweet. Thank you, Jeanette. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the call. Hope to hear back from you. Let's go to Silas, who's calling in from Staten Island. Silas, you're up next. What's on your mind this morning?
One is about the midterm elections. I've spoken with many people trying to get them to vote for Jack Ciattarelli when that happened, and every one of them said they're voting for Mikey Sherrill. Spanberg knew she was going to win that, and Mrs. Sears is like Einstein compared to her. But the Democrats know they're going to get that vote. They're going to get that black vote, and I don't know how to educate the uninformed and ill-informed. But even when you said, like, with Adam does listen to this radio station, and you're never going to get him to like Trump, but
I don't have to. Look, wait a minute. Silas, let me just stop right there. It's not my job to change anybody's mind. It's my job to present a form where if people choose to change their own minds, they can do that. If they don't, they don't. It's not your job to, quote unquote, educate people, because people have their views based on what they believe. What we need to do is just try to be persuasive by explaining what our views are in a way that people can understand them, and also be willing to listen to other people's views and to appreciate the fact that people have a very different philosophies and very different backgrounds that inform their philosophies. And sometimes, you know what, we can learn some things from them too. Like this morning, I played something from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez that I happen to agree with. I don't necessarily agree with her conclusion about why the Democrats are doing it. Is they did it, so we do it. Well, we can say that, they did it, so we did it. But what she said about until we get to the point that we can stop the gerrymandering system, we've all got to play on this ballot. It's the same thing I've been saying. Disagree with her on most things. Doesn't mean I disagree with her on everything. Doesn't mean I disagree with any. Look at anybody that we are all individuals, and we all come to our own conclusions. So this idea that somehow or another, we need to educate those blacks, or what we need to do is be persuasive and explain where we are and explain what our positions are and allow people the information to make up their own minds. Because we're not going to change anybody's mind. Just like somebody trying to change your mind on something you think is true is not going to change your mind. You will only persuade them when you give them enough reason to rethink what they already believe. And sometimes, and you have to be open too, if that's the approach, to actually listening to what they say and be willing to try to understand things from their point of view too, even if they're wrong. Silas, thank you for the call. Bob in Florida is up next. Good morning, Bob. How are you?
I am well, thank you, Mr. Snerdley. The thing with Democrats, they're angry about everything that doesn't go their way, but on the redistricting thing, they're angry because Democrat states there's no more room to gerrymander it. And for them, it's only gerrymandering if the Republicans do it. So it's just really crazy. And I know time is short. I just like to say that our mentor in heaven, the great one, the real great one, not the other great one, the great one, Rush Limbaugh, he told us that Democrats need to be defeated, every place and every time. He didn't want to get rid of them completely. He wanted to keep some in museums so we could see.
You have a great memory. That's when he said, we can't defeat all of we need some of them as a reminder. But what he was saying was this ideology of the Democrats has to be defeated. And there's no other way about it. And yes, that is correct. Bob, great memory. Thank you for the call. We got to do a quick break, eh? Time for a break there, so let's do that.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread, education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.